Good morning, watch collectors from all over the world. Good morgon, buongiorno, buenos dias, bonjour, guten morgen, and welcome to another episode of Talking Watches. You'll wonder why my first good morning was in Swedish. Well, because today we are going to talk about Georgios Batselas, head of the watch department and watch specialist at Kaplans Auctioneer, based in Stockholm. And we are going to have an exclusive preview of the upcoming auction Important Watches, which will take place on November 13. Hello, Georgios. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so good to see you after a long time.
Yeah, I have to say the same. Yeah, it's been special times. Yeah.
Absolutely. I hope to see you soon in person.
Yeah, that will happen really soon, I hope.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, let's start to talk about the magnificent auction that will take place on Saturday, November 13. Obviously, I had a deep look at the catalog and I saw extraordinary lots, right?
Yeah, of course. We picked them and we picked them carefully, and I think we've done a selection this time that's we're really proud of. And you only have a certain of time to do it, and because we have this important watches auction in May and then in November. So we're really proud to present 98 lots, and I'm happy to say that it's not a watch that we don't that don't fit in that auction, in my opinion.
That's very important, and I know Kaplan's quality is always top. My husband and I, we buy watches ourselves from you, so we can personally guarantee that the watches are amazing. Well, among the lots I have selected for this chat with you, the lot 18 is really wonderful. The Omega Speedmaster Apollo 11 is such a great watch. And well, since I always like the story behind the timepieces, I would like to mention a story about this watch. I will read it for our subscribers. And well, on July 20, 1969, the humans landed on the moon for the first time. 4 months later, in November the same year, a banquet was held in Houston, Texas, to celebrate the achievement. There and then, Omega presented their first limited edition Speedmaster, which was sold made in gold. The first 32 watches were given to politicians and astronauts. Number 1 was given to the then President of the United States, Richard Nixon, and number 2 to Vice President Spiro Agnew. Well, after that, 1,014 examples were made out of this Omega Speedmaster between the years 1969 and 1973, and about 975 out of them could be bought by private individuals all over the world. Well, the example that you are selling at auction is one of these. It's number 647.
That's correct, yeah.
Cool, fantastic. So what can you tell us about this extraordinary timepiece?
Yeah, first of all, my personal opinion, this is one of the most beautiful gold watches that I know. I haven't seen many of them. I have seen a few. It really sits well on at least my wrist. And I'm not a big Speedmaster fan. I like the Speedmaster, but in this version, it's something else. And it's the combination with the bracelet, the golden dial that's really real gold, and also the maroon color of the tachymeter bezel. The combination of those things really makes this watch pop. And also, I think it's the story behind it's also something that it's really special. Making this the first limited Speedmaster, really, and yeah, I would say this example also that could be said it's been really worn. So you have to think about the service part of things. It's really good condition with the dial and the hands, but the bracelet it's been worn. So.
Well, it's part of the game when you have a watch with this history.
Yeah, of course.
Well, and the estimate for this piece is approximately 26,000 euros right now.
Yeah, it's more carefully put because of the condition, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. It's gold. It's easy to work with gold. The important thing is, I would say, something that you cannot change is the dial and the hands. They are the original ones. We also have an extract from the archives. It's been delivered to Germany in 1969, so it's one of the early ones. That's something that adds to the value, I would say. So all in all, it's I think it's one of our absolutely most interesting watches at this auction.
Yeah,
You don't see them very often on auctions.
in fact, I think Omega collectors will do a good fight for this.
I think so too.
Well, another lot that I really like, and I'm wearing it on my wrist today, is the lot 32, the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona 116500, which is one of the most popular watches today. Many collectors are looking for it, very hard to find. There are many bits I saw already. The estimate is very low for now, 24,000 euros, but I'm sure it will go up and up. There is not much to say about this watch, just that it's one of the most desirable watches at the moment. So congratulations for having it in your catalog.
Yeah, thank you. And I agree totally with you because this is a watch that it's good to have represented on this auction. It's all the lots adds up to a complete catalog. And of course, as you say, this one is also not that old. It's sold in 2018 and has all the papers, the boxes and the certificates, and it's a really good neck condition, I would say also. So nothing really much to say, as you said. It's not much to say about this one. It speaks for itself, and yeah, we're proud to have it on this auction, really. Together, actually, with a lot of other modern Daytonas. I think we have about 5 of them. So we
Yeah.
have the Zenit one, we have the one with the Rolex, the 16520 with Rolex movement, and then we also have one in steel and gold, and then we have this one, which is the latest. So
Okay.
that's nice.
For the next slot, I'm going to step back 3 years and we are going to talk about the lot 39, the GMT Master reference number 16760, Fat Lady. Just a small specification for those who don't know the meaning of Fat Lady. The Fat Lady is a model which has a thicker case, bigger guards, and wider bezel. Typical for the reference 16760, and from my point of view, it is a little bit underrated compared to the 16710, which is much more popular, but still is a piece with a huge potential, and I think it will increase in value over the years. This one that you sell at auction has an estimate of 10,000 euros, but again, I think it will go much higher, and we will probably bid for this because absolutely, I think it's a must-have in this condition in a collector's collection.
Yeah, I think so too. It's really nice to spot, because it's if you look at it, it looks like the model that came afterwards, the 16710 that we have for many years. But as you said, and it has the bigger case, and it's the first GMT Master 2 that came. Before that, we didn't have the GMT Master 2, and it's also the first time they put the black and red bezel insert on the bezel. So all those things makes this the first of this kind of look that continue for many years, and it has this. I think that many enjoys the bigger case that you really have to be a nerd to spot, and
Yeah.
yeah, so that's something that the collectors, of course, enjoy. So, yeah, it's really nice to have this on this auction. Yes.
Next lot is the lot 41. even if I'm more in the Rolex and Patek Philippe market, but obviously I can recognize amazing quality, and this lot really has to be mentioned because this Langhezone Datograph Flyback, it is an extremely rare piece produced only from 2003 to 2005 in approximately 100 pieces. So something very good to talk about.
Yeah, it is. It was actually something that I didn't know much about before the watch presented to me. Of course, I know about the brand Langhezone. Of course, most of the collectors and people that enjoy watches knows about this brand, and they know also that it has a very high quality. But they have a lot of models, like many other brands. And this one, I didn't know the specifics that made this very special. And it's as we also have called it, the Dufograph. That means that's Philippe Dufour, the known watchmaker that's known in the business maybe to be one of the best, actually has this watch as his own. He has not many watches with other brands. Of course, he makes his own brand, but he chooses to exactly this model in this combination. And the story is actually that he enjoyed this chronograph that much, but in the beginning, in the late 90s, it came with platinum case, and he couldn't afford the platinum. And then he came the rose and this with the black dial. This is exactly those combination colors that he chooses and also wears. So that makes this model really, really special because of him, I would say. And of course, that's a flyback chronograph, and it's a beautiful watch. But that's why we call it the Dufograph, because of him.
Yeah, and of course, this is a smaller niche of collectors who appreciate this kind of watches. But I am sure in Sweden there is a very good market for this brand and in the entire north of Europe. I saw the estimate is 72,000 euros, and again, I think it's quite a low estimate for the true value of this timepiece.
Yeah, it's a true collector's watch. I think, as you mentioned, it's actually it's less than 100 watches made, so there are not many, and there are not going to be any more. So I think, yeah, it's something if you like it to think about, and hopefully we will see some bidding on this one.
Yeah, I think so. I can't wait to see more. And well, the last lot I selected is one of my favorite watches ever. A watch that we have in our personal collection, the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711, a watch that everyone in the world talked about because we probably saw the most hyped ever through the social medias and all the forums, and the watch world really got crazy for this watch. I'm sure I don't have to mention the story of the Nautilus created by Georgios, but this reference is truly iconic, not only for me because it's the watch that I gave to my husband as gift when we had our first kid, Mia, but for the entire watch community. So I give you the word, and you'll tell us more about this watch, which has now a very interesting estimate, 70,000 euros, but it will fly.
I hope so too, and it's actually we have seen this watch since in the middle of 2000 when they remade the reference. They made the 5711, but they had the Nautilus. It's been a gap before the 37, and then they made this. So it's been around. It's been up and down, you can say, because of. Yeah, the collectors has been a very sought after model all the time, I would say, and now it's been discontinued. They have replaced it with the green one, as you know, and the market has gone crazy. And it is, of course, one of the most iconic watches, together with Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, same designer in the 70s. So yeah. A true collector item, I would say, and in this case, it's a very good condition watch with everything you need to have. So it's nothing, you don't have anything to complain about this example, and we will see. I hope we will see some bidding on this one. Usually there are they love it throughout the world. So it's not a specific market that likes this watch. It's everyone almost.
Yeah, in fact, we will see something interesting, I think. Well, and now, Georgios, I think it's your turn to let me know and let everybody knows some of your favorite lots.
Yeah, I choose actually only Rolexes actually. So and also I choose the watches I choose was, I think, more for your audience. So it's so many so many watches here, but I choose Rolexes, and I wanted to take the lot number 30. That's a ladies' watch with a lot of diamonds and a very special bracelet. Um, this bracelet, I don't think it's very common that people have seen. They were made between in the late 80s and through all the 90s, about 10 years, something like that. So yeah, you can see if you look at the reference that it's a very special watch with a dial and with a bezel and also with a bracelet. So and also in this case it's a very good condition. So I wanted to bring a smaller watch for the person that likes a lot of diamonds and like the Rolex brand. It's a very iconic model, also the Datejust.
Diamonds are women's best friends, so I know that I have many friends who will like it.
Yeah, but as you also know, ladies today they can choose whatever they like. It hasn't to be a watch with diamonds or a smaller watch.
Absolutely.
It could be exactly everything else. So this one, because it's an iconic watch also. That's why I wanted to lift that up. And the next one would be lot 70. It was the Sea Dweller 666. That is actually one of my really favorite pieces on this auction. It's because I always love the Sea Dweller. This is the first reference with the sapphire crystal, and it has also a spider dial. It's been cracked, so that really makes this more special, I think, in my opinion. And then also happens that the case and the brace has never been polished, so it makes this really, really unique. You really have to understand the model, and also when you see the example, I think it really shines, and you will understand what I'm trying to say. What do you have your relationship with the Sea Dweller?
Well, I have to say that this watch is very special to me because, well, in your case, you have a very special dial, the spider dial, which obviously someone could not appreciate, but we all know that in the world of Rolex, a problem, a damage, it's something that adds value to the watch. So in this case, it makes it very special, and also the fact that it's unpolished, it's something very important today in the market. But my personal experience with this model is very special because, well, my year of birth is 1984, and when I turned 30, my parents gave me a Sea Dweller 666 as a gift from my year of birth, which is the same year of the watch you are proposing now at auction. So absolutely a very special piece to me.
Yeah, it's nice to hear, and also that your parents thought of this. You know, it's common now for parents to do this, but I guess you have very special parents.
Absolutely, yes, I cannot complain. And going to the next lot, what's your next choice?
Yeah, it's also actually equally, but it's more under the radar watch. It's lot 89. It's Datejust White Boy and with a Sigma dial in the blue color, and I love the White Boy. It's the dial that's actually and the hands that has a little wider indexes. That's very characteristic on that White Boy, you know, the so-called White Boy, as the collectors have named it. But I have never seen the blue. I've never seen the blue one.
Yeah,
Only
that's
the
what I
white.
thought.
Yeah,
Well,
the white one is really, really the one you see. The blue one I have never seen before, and when I saw it, I was amazed, and it had to be on this auction, even though it's just a 1601 Datejust with a white gold bezel. It's a very common watch. It's a okay condition, but the dial, the blue white boy and Sigma dial, it's why it's on this auction.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something peculiar for not a rare watch, but this dial makes it rare, even if it's a common reference.
Yeah.
And the estimate is very appealing with only 3,000 euros for now.
Yeah. I put it lower because I wanted to see how the market would take it, how high it would take it. I'm sure it's going to go up, maybe double. We'll see. But I hope the market is ready for and understand this. That's why also I wanted to pick this up, because maybe the most of us don't know about that. The blue one is a really rare color on the white boy, and the Datejust it's a really good starters Rolex. If you see the Submariners, the sport Rolexes, they have the prices are really high now, and maybe everybody can't afford to have a Submariner. And then I think the Datejust, it's a good example. You get a lot of Rolex for your money. It's the same bracelet, the same look in a way. So why not start with a Datejust and build your collection up, and get to know the Datejust collection. They have several dials and special features. So this one is something that hopefully we get to get people to understand that this is a really unique dial. The value of a Submariner or a Seedwell is never going to be, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an ideal entry-level watch. But the next lot you selected is not at all an entry-level watch. It is absolutely a very special Meteorito dial Rolex, right?
Yeah, that's really also one of the most interesting watches on this auction. It's the last lot with purpose. It's nice to start the auction. Also, it's nice to close it with a interesting model. It's in the masterpiece. It's in actually it's full with everything. It's what Rolex could offer as the most exclusive model they have on their catalog. This is the one. It's not when we talk about higher values and vintage watches. This is when it was new and what they could present. If it was a car, it would be the biggest model with everything on, like that. So you have the meteorite dial. Of course, the watch and the case is in platinum. You have the little wider case that's 39 millimeter, but it's a date, so it's bigger. You have the Pearlmaster bracelet. That's also a special design that you only have in this masterpiece collection, and of course the carré diamonds on the bezel, and also some diamonds on the meteorite dial. So in combination, it's really everything on.
Absolutely, we could not ask for more.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, I can't wait to see how much it will go for.
We will see. It will be, you don't see those that often. So this one is also in a really good condition with the certificate and sold in 2009 with the box and everything. And in some places also the plastic is still there. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed when you see it.
Yeah, in fact. Well, I think we have selected very good lots, but I invite all collectors to have a look at the entire catalog because it's really worth it. And again, the auction will take place in Stockholm on November 13, but all collectors and aficionados will be able to follow the auction online on your website and also to bid online.
That's right.
Cool. So, Georgios, thank you so much for being with me today. I will certainly follow the sale and bid myself. And good luck to all bidders.
Thank you.
Thank you, Georgios. Thank you so much.